Look that way, Spock. Spocky, look that way. We're done that way. He's not stupid. So being new to wild camping myself, one of the first things you think about is what stove do I need? Do I want lightweight? Do I want a big heavy duty one that's going to last me? All these options you have to consider. But is it really that important to buy the best? Or are there cheaper options out there that do a good job as well? In this video we're going to be looking at Firemaple FMS X1, which I've recently bought. Now we all know about Jetboil, and they're the market leader when it comes to the gas stoves, and arguably they are the best, especially the time we're living in. How many of us can afford to fork out over £100 for a stove? So today we're going to look at Firemaple, a cheaper option for your camping trips. Come on. So the first thing to notice is they're quite similar to design to your Jetboils. They're made of aluminium. They come with this handy little lid. Whilst you're finding that, there's a little plastic container and the stove system itself, and the aluminium pot. Pot takes up to about a litre of water. So now we've got this on, got the canister legs on, which are always a good idea. And now, so simple matter, if you see your bottom of this, is just a matter of screwing that onto the top of there. It's quite simple. Now for the water. See the flames in there, I think. So it should take a couple of minutes boil time. Just see how it's getting on. Just starting to bubble at the top bottom there. You can see it's boiling over nicely now. That's just been about 2.5–3 minutes, that has. These handles make it very useful, very safe to pour it out in. Should do nicely. I've got the spoon. Just use the milk sachet for now. Don't forget to take your litter away with you. And now for the taste test. excellent. And packing away again takes no time at all. So you quickly undo that in a few seconds. Obviously, once again, the design of the pot means that most things can fit in. So I've got 230 gram canister. Now they won't fit in. If you get the smaller half size 100 gram ones, they easily fit in inside with everything else as well. One thing I would recommend though, to stop the rattling, is just put something inside to stop the stove itself actually just rattling about and scratching the inside as well. So the plastic pot it comes with can be used to drink out as well if you want. Or to have a little bit of soup or something in there. That goes on top. And there's still plenty of room. For your canister legs to go inside. And the lid on top. Nice and compact. As you can see, the handle just wraps around the side nicely. Job's a good one. So that's the practical. We'll do now. The light's just starting to go down a little bit. The sunset will be over there shortly. So we'll get back home and we'll go over the specs. See you in a bit. Hi everyone. So back at home now, and we're just going to go over the specifications of the Firemaple FMS X1. So it's 711 grams in weight. So if you put this in your bag, you're not really going to know that you carried it. It's very light really for what it is. Does take up a bit of space compared to your traditional, maybe a Trangia stove or just a simple small stove. But like I was saying earlier on, when we were outside, fits everything in there, so you can fit your triangle there. That's what I do at the moment. If you've got a 100 gram, 110 gram gas canister, that'll just fit really nicely in there, just inside the plastic bottle. Inside, stove just fits nicely in there. Obviously, always keep it in something safe so it doesn't scratch the sides. So looking at the actual how it's made, so you've got this kind of wind protection system there and heat exchange system it's called. So obviously that, when you're outside, windy conditions, that prevents too much wind getting to the flame and affecting the quality of its ability to boil basically. So on Amazon, on there they quote a figure of 100 seconds for it to boil. So earlier on when we were outside, this took about 2.5 minutes to 3 minutes for it to boil, I believe. So I didn't have the stove on full blast. And it was, obviously this time of year, November time, colder conditions outside as well. But, you know, 2.5 minutes for a cup of tea or whatever, it's nothing, is it really? So what's the verdict? Is the Firemaple FMS X1 worth buying? For me, I'm glad I bought it. Obviously recently they've had later models that have come out, but this one at the moment, for the price, I mean, at the time of filming, it's around about £55 I believe on Amazon. When you compare that to the Jet Boil Minimo, which is about 120 odd quid, at least over £100 in the vast majority of outdoor retailers. So if you're new to wild camping, I think it's definitely worth getting. You don't need these, the Firemaple. You know, they are quite big. They do take up a lot of space in your bag. So obviously you can get the smaller stoves. I've got a OEX Etna stove, which is just your standard gas stove. that you attach to the top of your canister. I've got a Trangia stove that I haven't used very often, but I know a lot of people. Paul Mez on his channel, I know he loves the Trangia. He always says on all his videos that's still his favourite, the Trangia stove, I believe. So they're all very, very small and take up a tiny space in your bag, those do. Firemaple is going to take up more space, but the good thing about it is, you can do your boil in the bag as well if you want. You do have an option with these to have a little pot support on the top. I've recently ordered one, so that means I can put a frying pan out, a pot on there, and cook from fresh when I'm out and about, do pasta, cook some meat or whatever like that. So you've got that option as well. Ultimately for me, it's the price that speaks really. A lot of people, when they're new to wild camping, I certainly have been since I've started going wild camping in the last year. You're after the neat little gear. Everybody likes a little neat gear. For the most part, I try and get the cheaper gear. But when you see something like the Jet Boil, and you see everybody on YouTube using them, how fantastic they are, how fast they are, and arguably they are possibly the best one out there, best stove out there to use for hiking and wild camping. But for me, forking out over £100 isn't really worth it. So this one does a great job for me, the Firemaple does. So for me, I don't mind waiting 2 or 3 minutes. I don't need to boil water in 60 seconds flat. But for you out there, it depends what you want. If it's your hobby and you want to spend that money on the top range stuff, then go out and do it. Yeah, that's fine. It's your money. If it's your hobby, get out there, spend it on what you want, get the gear that you're comfortable with, that gear you've always wanted. For me, the Firemaple will do me good for a long time now, I believe. Right, so that's the review. Thanks very much for taking the time to watch. If you've liked the video, please give me a little thumbs up and maybe even subscribe. We've got lots more videos coming out shortly. Wild camping, hiking, some other review videos as well with the gear I've got. And I'll look forward to seeing you again. Thanks very much. Bye now.